Hey guys, right, today with our brand new subscription box, which remember is number 47 and it's all about our edge stamp and die collection, we're going to be making this beautiful card. Look at this one. Now this is using some additional cardstock, and I wanted to do this one to show how you don't just have to keep framed in on the card blanks within the box. You can use your different cardstocks and make bigger and more larger cards. So what we're going to do with this one is I've taken some of my own cardstock and I have cut it in total to 12 3/4 inches by 4 inches, and then I've scored at 4 inches and I've scored at 4 inches. So this gives me my triple panel that we can see here. Now what I'm then going to do is I'm going to bring in my stamps. So this one we're going to use the sunflower. So taking the sunflower stamp, what I'm also going to do at this point is I'm going to bring in the actual coordinated die for the sunflower. And the reason I'm doing this at this point is because this is going to be our front stepper, I want to make sure that I get my stamp and my die in the right place. So what I'm going to do is I've got that right up against the base just now. Now you can cut, stamp or stamp and cut, that's up to you. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to come in, because it is a distinctive shape, all I want to do is make sure I get it in the right position, which is there. So I know if I'm wanting to stamp or I'm wanting to die cut first, it's up to you. So what we can do on this one, now I know the position to pop it in, I'm going to cut this one first. So if we then pop our die at the bottom, we're then going to bring in our folder, place it on, and then I'm using my MIDI for this one, but you can of course use your Junior or any other die cutting machine. So now that I've cut that one, let's open this one up, let's remove it, and then all that I need to do is take my scissors, and where the edge of the card is still intact, we're going to snip, and then we're going to snip. Now this is my preference when it comes to stamping and die cutting. I do like to die cut first, then stamp. And the simple being is I can see exactly where I need to line up. It's a bit harder, white on the white glass mat, but white on the purple makes it easier for me to see. So then what I can do now is go back, and then I'm going to line up, which is there. So I'm going to then come in, and if you find it easier using your larger stamp platform, by all means do that. You'll have your magnetic discs. So I'm going to use my alcohol proof ink pad for this one. This is our Noir Black alcohol proof. So giving it a really, really good coverage, making sure I've got plenty of ink on. I can then come along, and then with our spring legs here, I can make sure that I'm lined up exactly where I need to be before I commit. So let's go back in, which is there. Once happy, I can press. I always like to keep one hand still and move the other one, and then change about. So making sure I press all the way around, because I want not only the leaf detail, but I want the inner of the sunflower to be very, very visible. So taking that one away, look at that. Is that not spectacular, the detail within this collection? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in now with my Illustrator pens, and that's because it's something that I've not used a lot when it comes to the subscription videos, and that's our Illustrator pens. It's usually Classics or Tri-Blends. So I'm going in with GY1, GY3 and GY4. So more specifically, that is Moonlight, that is Gold, and that is Golden Yellow. So what I can then do is go in now to start with the light tone, and then I'm going to lay that light tone down first, and I'm going to add that colour all the way throughout the petal. So I'll do a few here to show you. So laying down that colour, I've popped some cardstock underneath so that if the ink does start to seep under, then at least this card will capture it. So I'm now going to go to the deep tone, which is GY4. And then all I'm going to do is do some flicking actions into the base of the petal. That's it, all that I'm doing. Then I'm going to go to the mid-tone, and where that overlaps, we're going to cross over. Flicking tones again, I find that easier with the Illustrator, and then we can go back in with the light tone and finish that off once again. So you would then carry on all the way around. You would then come along in with a grey tone, maybe a brown tone for the centre, and once you've done that, it's going to look like this. I mean, look at that. That's just a brown, 2 shades of brown when it comes to the Illustrator. You might want to leave it grey or change the colour. That's up to you. So now that we've also cut that, that's what creates our stepper that we can see here. So let's decorate the inside. So using the pastel yellow cardstock that you get within the kit, I'm going to take my tape off and we're going to add this to the base. I'm not using any pattern paper with this one because I wanted to show not only how you can use your larger card blanks, but how you don't necessarily have to always use pattern paper. It's going to go a lot further. You can then, of course, use your pattern paper within the craft kit, which remember you are getting 12 sheets of the printed paper. Use it elsewhere, or come along and use your own pattern paper. That's up to you. But bringing in a strip, so this panel here with the white, that is our white smooth stamping card, and I've laid on a 1/4 inch layer of our yellow. We're going to pop that one on over the base as a panel that's going to go into place here. I've popped a couple of little bits of tape at the side. I've taken that yellow and we're going to wrap it round the edges. And what it does is it gives it extra texture, but it also gives it extra dimension onto your card. What we can do is take our foam pads off, because we do need some height within this one, because this needs to be our stopper. You could, if you want, leave this flat, and then when it comes to our sentiment in a moment, you can have that raised up. But if we come in now, I've then gone into a tiny piece of our white smooth stamping card and I've stamped the word smile, which remember you get all of these included on the stamp set, lots of different ones that you can be using, so it's all there for you. You don't need any extras. So we can come in, take the backing off here, we can then pop this one over the top, and then I've already popped my foam pads on the back. So we can have a bit of a play. We could have it further up. I'm going to overlap it straight within the middle and over my ribbon that we can see here. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to give it an extra burnish with my bone folder and my scoring tool, because it is, of course, a concept card and we want it to sit nice and proud. So what we can then do, finish off, I've already tied a bow using the baby yellow pastel within the subscription box. We're going to add in some of our Collall glue. So we're going to use our glue gel for this one. And then that one can sit in the top corner there. We can then finish that off by popping it into position, turning it around, and because we've got our 2 steppers at the bottom there, that's going to be held in place. It's making a focal point out of the sunflower. We've coloured in with the alcohol pens, but taking that yellow from the sunflower, hitting it with the pastel tones that come within the subscription box. This one has been made using our brand new subscription box, which is number 47, and it's all about the Edge Stamp and Die collection. Ooh.